Okay, in this video, we're going to go over how you can use a little bit of positive reinforcement to stop a dog from reacting to movement. Now, being a Corgi, this is Todd, and he doesn't like it when his guardians right here embrace. Or so I'm going to have them go ahead and hug each other right now. All right. So what we want to do is we want to make that action actually something that means he's about to get a treat. Now I have really good high value treats here. This is the Stewart's freeze-dried beef liver. We call it crack because dogs fiend for it. He is very interested in it. So I should be able to, I'm going to hopefully be able to hold his attention here. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to kind of give each other just a quick hug. There we go. So the hug happened. Actually, I didn't do very good camera presence. Kendall would not be impressed with me. And you have a girlfriend who's a TV producer, you get in trouble if you don't have good camera presence. All right, sit down. Watch Tough as Nails. It's on network TV. All right, come here, buddy. Come here, a little bit further in the shot. There we go, sit. Now the distance, this is, there's only 3 of us and they need to do this together. Ideally, you'd like to have enough distance so if you get him too close, then it's gonna be harder for him to ignore. So go ahead and do the embrace again. There we go. Come here, buddy. So that was borderline. He almost went for it. So I almost had to stick the treat in his mouth. So this time I'm going to have you guys just turn your arms toward each other and face each other, but don't actually make contact. So let's go ahead and try that again. And this time just extend your arms about like this and then reset. There you go. Hey, buddy. So sometimes when you have a dog that reacts like that, you want to break it down, the activity down into sections or smaller versions and help the dog practice the smaller version. Sit. Go ahead and expand your arms again. There you go. Wait for him to look at me. Go ahead and expand. And then I'm giving the treat. I was holding a treat in his mouth, but I wasn't releasing. You don't want to release it until they get done. You're loving this. All right, go ahead and do it again.
Nice.
Running out of crack. I have a big bunch behind me though. All right, let's do it again. So that was a little bit much, but we didn't get the bark that time. But when you're doing this, we don't want him to react at all. We don't want him to go towards them. So yes, I'm going to grab some more. That's just the lid, buddy. All right, Silly, you ready? All right, let's go ahead. Sit. He doesn't have to sit. I just like to sit because he's sitting, it gives me an extra step when he's going to try to go towards him. Go ahead and expand. There we go. So a little bit less of an expansion this time. Sit. So I don't want to give him a treat for that one because he darted towards them. That's a part of what I don't want him to do against sections. So let's do even less this time. Sit. There you go. And about that same extension this next time when he looks. Hey, buddy. Go ahead. Yeah, that was a big piece, huh? Sit. Now you can set yourself up for success when you do this. Make sure you exercise your dog a little bit first. Give it about 10 minutes to recover. Then do this. Sit. Let's go ahead and do the same motion. Now he stared. That's as much a reaction I want from him. I prefer he just looked but didn't stare. Sit. Again. About the same motion. There you go. So I'm putting this just right in his view to kind of block him from going over there. I'm not going to physically block him. Go ahead. So he's basically, you can't see his back to the camera, but he's looking at them and closing his mouth and getting still. That's, like I said, the max we want for it. No treat for that one. Sit. Go ahead. There you go. Sit. Yeah. Now we went over a little clicker training earlier. Go ahead. We can use a clicker for this sort of thing as well. I normally wouldn't because there's just a lot of moving parts, but now that I think about it, we could. So I'll go ahead and do that. We'll do a version of click for looks. All right, come here. Sit. Same thing. was too much. So a little bit less. Now, this is going to be something that's going to, and we've been doing this session, we're at about 3 hour mark. This is a lot for him to go on, so he's probably a little bit stressed. Let's go ahead and try one more time. And again. All right, the problem that we're going to have in this house is that the guardians can't do this when they're both there. So he also does this if we hand things to each other. Come here, buddy. So we're going to do the same sort of principle. Hey, Todd. Come here, buddy. Sit. So I want you just to hand. Let's see if we can do it. Whoop. Go ahead and hand it. And let's hand it back. We're passing the baton, literally. Yeah, don't offer it to him. No. Yes. This is just for you guys. Now, this is just, we're using a dog toy, but if they pass anything to each other, that's when he gets upset. And his reaction is just to rush towards them, to bark at them, to say, I don't agree with that. I disagree. He's like the chaperone, even though they're married. Come here, buddy. Let's try that again. All right, sit. So, sit. And sit. Yeah, you're cheating over there. I know what you're doing. And so this is, again, we're limited by the camera angle, but if that's the case, I would have you guys move a little bit further away from each other. Go ahead and hand it. If you're getting that and we increase the distance, you should be able to achieve that. And this time, since he was doing that, I just want you to just kind of go like this and then pull it back to your chest. So again, small sections. Go ahead and do that again. You didn't even look that time. One more time. And pull back. So now we're just rewarding, and eventually you can go further and further and further. Don't get greedy though. If he lunges or even darts towards them, we did too much. So you could do this. The other way that you could do this, and we'll see if I can kind of facilitate this. Yes, I know this is thirsty work. He's getting a drink of water. All right, so we're going to do this. I'm going to give you these. So you're going to basically throw the treat at him when you're going to do the same motion. Todd, let's go over here first. Here, buddy. So this is, I'm trying to figure out a way that you guys can do this on your own. Sit. All right, go ahead, hand it halfway, pull it back, toss the treat. So the treat toss needs to be a little faster next time. Everybody. Let's try that again. Sit. All right, so half hand, toss the treat. Even faster next time. Try that again. Let me give you one more. Actually, let me give you a bigger chunk. You want something more bang for the buck, right, buddy? All right, Todd. Todd. Sit. So as soon as she extends it, throw the treat down. Sit. Sit. Wait. Nope. That's all right. Make sure he's looking. One more time. Sit. And we'll do that again. They say in TV, you don't work with children or animals. Might have picked the wrong career. Sit. All right, do it again. So ideally, what we like to do is go like this and then have a half a second, then you're throwing it. But if he's running towards you, we'd rather beat the punch. Mm-hmm. So wait for him to look. As soon as he looks, then go. There you go. Sit. I was talking about your weight earlier. Sit. This is a big one, that's why I'm giving it to you. All right, this extend it harder, further this time. There you go. So he got up. Now, this time we're going to do it one more time, and this time I want you to move your hand in slow motion as you're going towards him. That's another way. So what I do is I decrease the speed, I increase the distance, or I turn down the volume. In this case, we can't increase the distance, but we can slow down the speed. Sit.
You're scared of that.
Sorry about that, buddy. I was just trying to get your attention. Sit. There we go. So there you go. Very good. So the idea for this is we want to use this. I would like the guardians to make a list of all the things. He does this if they hand things to each other, if they give each other hugs, if they give each other kiss, if one of them gets near the puppy that's downstairs. So I would have you guys kind of do the same sort of thing. So we have a long-term confinement area downstairs. So one of you go in the long-term, probably you, and then you're outside with the treat. So if the puppy is here, I would go like reach, pull back, and then he gets a treat, and then you're delivering a treat. And eventually it gets to the point where you can touch the puppy, and then you can actually give maybe pet the puppy or kiss it or whatever the case may be. And we're going to work our way up to it. Then when we get to the point where we get him a little bit closer and closer, my two tests are: can the dog sit and still be interested in the treat while he sees the activity going on? If he gets up, that's an indication he's close to his limit. And if he stops taking a treat, also another indication he's close to his limit. This means he's got a scratch. So the idea is make a list of all the things that he does this for, and then set up scenarios and practice them. Now, dogs don't generalize well, so I don't want you to only practice in this room. I'd like you to practice in that room, the downstairs, all over the house, so that anywhere you go, when he sees you handing something to somebody else, he's like, I like that because I'm going to get a treat. When he sees you guys eventually hugging each other, I'm going to get a treat. Hugging and kissing is probably going to be harder than the handing each other. So again, we want to go with the easier version first, go slow and steady, till eventually you can go boom, and actually hand it to the person, and then the treat comes after that. Teddy, or Todd. Todd, sit. This is my buddy Todd, and these are some tips you can use if you have a dog that doesn't like people handing each other things or interacting with one another.